Joining us now is the Democratic congressional candidate for Texas's 14th district in this upcoming election, Adrienne Bell. Welcome to the Damage Report.
Thank you so much, John, for having me. I really appreciate being able to talk with you today.
Glad to have you here, and especially glad to have you as one of the first candidates that we are talking with in this cycle. We previously spoke at one point on the main Young Turks show in the last cycle when you had been running for Congress there. And so talk to me about this time around. So it's a hard district that you're running in,
yes.
And
yes.
but you've got even more experience now. So talk to me about what it's like this time around.
Okay, well, you know, Texas is so exciting being in Texas right now because we have been identified as a battleground state. And last year we were considered just, red. There's nothing much that's going to happen in Texas. But those of us who are in Texas, we have been working, we have been organizing. And so we see the fruition of a lot of labor from a lot of different organizations, a lot of different individuals, and a lot of activists. And so now when we're running in 2020, we garnered 92,000 votes last cycle. So we can capitalize on those 92,000 votes that have already been cast for us and build upon that. So yes, Texas is hard because Texas is a huge state. Mm-hmm. This district, I spent a lot of time driving, a lot of windshield time. So we're not very dense. We have to move around quite a bit in order to visit constituents so that we can hear their issues and we can talk about solutions. But we're ready. We're excited to get going. We're kicking off, and we have our first kickoff on May 11th in the Beaumont-Port Arthur area, and we're getting it rolling.
Well, let's talk about one of these areas of public policy. Your background is in education, and in that area, we've actually heard some pretty big proposals coming from some of the presidential candidates like Elizabeth Warren, different ways to deal with the various problems that we have in our education system across America. Based on your experience in this field, what are some of the things you'd like to accomplish if you make it to Congress?
One thing is pre-K education. We are doing our children a disservice by not educating them at an earlier age and making sure that they have the groundwork, the firm foundation in order to learn. Currently, I teach fourth grade in the public education system in Houston. And we have students that are not reading on grade level. I have one student that actually does not know his letters. So we have a long way to go to make sure that our children are reading correctly, that they are actually the student success we can measure it correctly. I am not for the high stakes testing that we put so much emphasis on because we're not teaching our students like we need to teach them. They need to know basic foundations, but it starts at an earlier age. So I'm glad to see education proposals that come in that talk about students in the public sector.
So outside of education, what are some of the issue areas that you're making a centerpiece in your campaign in 2020?
Definitely Medicare for all. We have got to make sure that everyone receives the right to receive health care and good quality health care. It's more than just having access to health care. We have access. Houston area has the Texas Medical Center, which is one of the greatest medical facilities in the world. But that doesn't mean everyone can go to Texas Medical Center to get quality care. And so Medicare for all is a huge piece. Also criminal justice reform. We want to make sure that we end in the cash bail bond and that Black and brown people are not locked up unnecessarily for crimes, and then they're taken out and hidden away from even being able to vote for issues that really affect them greatly. So centerpieces, we're working on public education, Medicare for all, making sure that we reform correctly the criminal justice system. And we talk about that the system is broken. The system is actually not broken. It's working the way that it was designed to work. And it is racially discriminating against communities of color, and we need to put an end to it.
I couldn't agree more on that and your diagnosis of the issue. I'm curious, so you mentioned how previously people think, oh, Texas, red state, what's the point? It's so difficult. I just this week saw some polls that showed, at least with a couple of the different potential candidates who might go against Trump, him actually losing in Texas. And obviously Beto O'Rourke came very close to beating Ted Cruz. Now I know that you have to run your campaign, you're running for Congress, you're focused on your district. But is it important to you, are you keeping an eye on who might be at the top of the ticket that might help to make it a little bit easier across Texas?
Of course. One thing that's really helping, that's going to help us in 2020, because we're now identified as a battleground state, is the energy that will be poured into Texas. Texas hasn't had that energy before, the help from outside groups. Swing Left came in and got organized and did a lot of great work. I know, like in Texas 7. And so our district is one that is like 40% minority voters, and it has great opportunity. Our challenge in Texas has always been voter turnout, to make sure that we're engaged voters with issues that concern them, not the issues that we think are important, but the issues that concern the people. Unemployment. We still have a lot of residents that are displaced from Hurricane Harvey. And Hurricane Harvey, a lot of folks think if you don't live here that was so long ago, we're coming upon a new hurricane season, that it's all over. It's not over for Texans. And District 14 was very hard hit by Hurricane Harvey, and a lot of people are still suffering from that. So we need to make sure that systems are in place so people can recover sooner. And by the time they receive some FEMA money, and people have issues with FEMA, that they haven't spent all their life savings trying to establish housing, when we have the monies available to help people grow, get back in their businesses. And so we just have to continue to engage people and drive down the issues that concern the people. Right now, the seat in Texas 14 is underserved. And our goal is to take back that seat, and to take back that seat for the people, because we matter.
Adria DeBell, congressional candidate for Texas's 14th district. Thank you for taking time out of your campaigning to join us on the show today.
Thank you so much, John. Look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.